Simplified intersections and new room for traffic and pedestrians has greatly improved mobility. In short, everything flows more smoothly and more safely. And people like it. Nearly 3/4 of New Yorkers surveyed say Times Square has improved dramatically over the past year. Before the pilot project, employees near Times Square consistently cited overcrowded sidewalks as a major drawback to working there. Now, 26% of those employees say they go out for lunch more frequently. 70% of Broadway theatergoers credit the new plazas for a better theater-going experience. And people are voting with their feet. Herald Square foot traffic is up by 6% and up by 11% in Times Square. Along with broader Broadway sidewalks from Central Park South to 42nd Street, the new landscape plazas of Times and Herald Squares bring in more people who spend more time there, enjoying the pleasures of public art, music, and other cultural events sponsored by local partners. These changes are promising for the local economy. Increased foot traffic means more people wander by stores and stop and shop or buy food and drink, particularly when there's a nearby plaza to enjoy that purchase. Green Light for Midtown overcomes safety and traffic problems that had plagued New York for more than a century. And now those improvements will be made permanent with enhanced landscaping and public spaces built with lasting materials. Once again, the heart of the city belongs to the city.
Okay, so we also, it's not in that video because it was a recent finding, but air quality has improved dramatically in Times Square as well. The nitrogen oxide in the air is down by 63% and nitrogen dioxide is down by 41%. So on top of all these improvements that the video just showed you, we're improving air quality as well. Okay, so while I'm going through this, I'm going to talk about bike lanes next. So what you saw in the previous couple previous presentations were that as bike lanes are installed, cyclist ridership goes up and injuries go down. Okay, so this is something that we've seen in New York as well. And what our pedestrian safety study found was that controlling for other factors, pedestrian KSI crashes on streets with bike lanes were 40% less deadly than other streets. And the pedestrians severely injured or killed where there were crashes involving unsafe speeds were nearly twice as deadly. So that's one of the reasons that bike lanes are so effective and for everybody, not only cyclists, is that the traffic calming implications of installing them helps pedestrians as well. So here's a chart showing our lane miles, which are up, our cyclist volume, which are up, and our injuries, which are down, which is exactly what we're trying to achieve. This is our on-street bike path design. You can see our separated bike lane with the pedestrian island and then a shortened crossing distance. This is kind of a treatment that we're trying to install in multiple Manhattan avenues. So I just want to show you some photos of our different types of bike design. This is the one with the separated bike path and pedestrian islands. We also have two-way bike lanes with floating parking to protect them. This is where we did a road diet. Took away a moving lane, installed bike lanes and pedestrian islands. And then on some of our smaller streets where you're not able to provide a separate bike lane, we do provide shared bike markers on the street. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is traffic calming. We found that arterial streets account for 60% of pedestrian fatalities, but they only make up 15% of our roadway network. So this is something, these are areas where we wanted to look again and come up with programs to reduce crashes. And pedestrian crashes on these streets are 2/3 more deadly than crashes on other arterial streets. So we came up with our high crash corridor program where we ranked corridors in each borough based on a number and severity of crashes. bike lanes, but this happened to be a neighborhood that wasn't in favor of bike lanes. In the communities, sometimes you want them there, but you can't force it down their throat, so we installed a parking lane where cyclists have a safe place to ride. We installed left turn bays to better manage traffic, pedestrian refuge islands to help pedestrians get across the street, and flush center medians to narrow the moving lanes. Seniors in particular have issues traversing these major roadways, and they find them as barriers to crossing the streets. So when we're looking at traffic calming, this is very beneficial for seniors. So these photos are from our Safe Streets for Seniors areas. This first one, you can see a right slip lane, which is incredibly dangerous for all pedestrians. After we improved the intersection, we built out the slip lane, installed islands, and made the intersection safer for everyone. This is my last slide. Sorry for the beeping. This is an area with wide open traffic next to a park with no sidewalk. Sometimes when we don't have the funds to install a sidewalk or the time, and we know that this is safe, we come up with temporary measures. Right here we painted a sidewalk and protected it with a parking lane and narrowed the moving lane for traffic. So we're always trying to come up with creative ideas